I've spent the last 3 years testing just about every AI video generator you can name. Some people collect sneakers. I collect subscriptions. And honestly, most of them promise the world but end up giving you half-baked features, glitchy results, and an empty wallet. But I kept at it because this space is moving fast and every few months a new game changer drops. So after thousands of dollars wasted and dozens of hours spent waiting for servers to spit out clips, I finally put together my honest take on the best AI video generators you can actually try in 2025. Now, a quick disclaimer. Best doesn't mean perfect. Every tool on this list does something cool, but every single one also comes with frustrating limitations. Some look amazing in demos, but break the second you try real projects. Others are technically impressive, but so expensive that no solo creator could use them consistently. That's why I'm going to highlight not only what each tool does well, but also what holds it back, and which one I think actually matters for everyday creators. Alright, let's start with one of the biggest names right now. On paper, Veo 3 looks incredible. You can generate videos directly from text prompts, add AI-generated dialogue, even mimic styles like street interviews or AI vlogs. One neat feature is image reference. You can drop in a still image and Veo will build a video around it, which feels like magic the first time you try it. But let's talk reality. The pricing is rough. You're looking at about $1 for 8 seconds of video. Do the math. A 1-minute clip could run you close to $8. Multiply that by a month of regular content creation and you're basically paying rent just to generate clips that may or may not even look right. And while the visuals are fun, they're often inconsistent. Lip sync looks off, hands and small details glitch, and if you want multiple shots to match each other, forget it. Veo is like a flashy demo reel. You show your friends once, everyone goes, wow, and then you realize it's not practical for producing content week in and week out. Next up is Hyua AI. This one focuses on turning images into moving video, and I'll admit it's pretty good at that. If you give it a strong reference image and a simple direction, it follows instructions more accurately than most. It even adds natural looking camera motions, which makes the output feel less static. But the honeymoon doesn't last. Hyua is basically a one-trick pony. It's great for make this picture move, but that's about it. Once you try anything complex like characters interacting, multiple objects moving, or sustained actions, the cracks start to show. Faces warp, limbs go weird, and suddenly your epic cinematic shot looks more like a bad GIF. Pricing isn't much better either, roughly 83 cents for 6 seconds of video. Slightly cheaper than Veo, but still not affordable if you're trying to make consistent content. At that rate, even a short 30-second video costs more than some editing software subscriptions. So yes, Hyua can pull off cool single shots, but it's not a reliable tool for creators who need polished, repeatable content. Then there's Kling AI. Out of all the purely generative tools, Kling impressed me the most with detail. The animations are smoother, the visuals hold up a little better, and it even has lip sync features built in. If you're generating a single talking clip, Kling often looks more natural than its competitors. But again, there's always a but. The sound side is terrible. Voice generation feels flat and robotic, like something from 10 years ago. Lip sync may look okay in stills, but the second you play it back, the timing feels off. And when you try complex movements, total chaos. Characters jitter, objects break, physics just don't make sense. And let's not ignore cost. $1 for 5 seconds or $2 for 10. That adds up ridiculously fast. It's one of those platforms where you can tell they're targeting enterprise budgets, not individual creators. For a solo YouTuber or a small business owner, that pricing is a deal breaker. So yes, Kling is ahead in some areas, but unless you have deep pockets and infinite patience, it's not a tool you'll actually stick with. Now, this one's interesting because it's not a generator by itself, it's more of an aggregator. OpenArt pulls together access to multiple models like Veo, Hyua, and Kling all under one roof. The idea is nice. Instead of bouncing between platforms, you get a one-stop shop to test different engines. But honestly, it feels more like a showroom than a workspace. You try out a model, get a flashy clip, and then realize you're still running into the same problems. Inconsistent quality, high costs, and results that don't scale to real projects. If anything, OpenArt just makes it easier to see how limited most of these generators really are. And that's kind of the theme so far. These platforms are fun to experiment with, but they all share the same fatal flaw. They're either too expensive, too inconsistent, or too limited to actually support a creator who wants to publish regularly. Which is why, after testing all of these, I've realized the real question isn't who can make the most impressive 10-second AI demo clip. The real question is which tool actually helps me turn content into something usable, sustainable, and shareable week after week. And that's exactly where the next tool comes in. One that doesn't just wow you once, but actually solves the everyday pain creators face. Finally, let's talk about the one that actually stuck with me, Vizard. Unlike the flashy demos we just covered, Vizard isn't about showing off one perfect clip, it's about making your workflow actually work. Here's what makes it stand out. First, the auto editing. You throw in a long video and Vizard instantly identifies the moments that matter. Those viral, scroll-stopping clips and trims them into ready-to-post snippets. No more scrubbing through hours of footage or guessing what will engage viewers. Other platforms? They either give you inconsistent cuts or make you do everything manually, which is why I spent so many late nights waiting on servers that felt like they were powered by a hamster wheel. Then there's the auto schedule feature. Set your posting frequency and Vizard handles the rest. It literally posts for you at the right times. I know. Other tools talk about scheduling, but either they're clunky or you end up having to micromanage every clip. With Vizard, the workflow actually reduces friction, which is a game changer if you want consistent content without burning out. And finally, the content calendar. This isn't just a calendar, it's a command center. You can manage, tweak, and publish clips across multiple platforms, all in one place. Try doing that with Veo, Hyua, or Kling without pulling your hair out over exporting, formatting, and uploading separately. Vizard just streamlines it. Pricing, totally reasonable for creators. It's designed for people who actually need to produce content consistently, not enterprise clients with deep pockets. And the outputs, smooth, consistent, and polished enough that you can post directly without a ton of extra editing. No more awkward lip sync glitches, missing frames, or characters suddenly floating into the ceiling. Here's the real takeaway. All those other tools are like flashy concept cars. Sure, they look amazing on a YouTube reel, but they're expensive, unreliable, and not built for long-term daily use. Vizard? It's the dependable sedan that actually gets you where you want to go week after week without breaking the bank or your sanity. If you're a solo creator, small team, or even a mid-sized studio, Vizard takes the headache out of turning raw footage into shareable, scroll-stopping content. It doesn't just impress once, it keeps impressing every time you hit publish. So yes, after years of jumping from one half-baked AI generator to the next, I finally found a tool that actually makes content creation sustainable. If your goal is to consistently produce engaging clips without blowing your budget or your patience, Vizard isn't just another AI tool, it's the one you'll actually stick with. So, to wrap everything up, here's the honest truth after spending all this time with these 5 tools. Veo 3, yeah, it looks amazing on paper, and the first time you see it generate a clip, you'll think, wow, this is the future. But then reality hits. The glitches, the inconsistent visuals, and that price tag make it impossible to rely on week after week. Hyua AI. It's fun if all you want is to make a single image move, and it actually does that better than most. But try anything beyond that. Complex scenes, characters interacting, multiple objects, and suddenly it's all warping and glitching. Not exactly what you want for real content creation. Kling AI? Now, this one tries to be serious. The visuals are smoother and it handles a talking clip better than most, but then you hit the audio problem, robotic voices that make your characters feel lifeless, and any complicated movement goes off the rails. Plus, the cost ramps up so fast that it really feels like it's meant for big studios, not solo creators or small teams. OpenArt? I like the idea. It brings everything under one roof, but honestly, it's mostly just a showroom. It makes it easier to compare all these other tools, but it doesn't fix the fundamental issues: high cost, inconsistency, and lack of workflow for actual creators. And then there's Vizard. That's the game changer. It's not trying to impress you once with a flashy demo, it's built to make your life easier, week after week. Auto editing grabs the best clips from your long videos so you don't waste hours scrubbing through footage. Auto schedule posts your content at the right times without you babysitting every upload. And the content calendar? It's basically your control center for managing, tweaking, and publishing across platforms all in one place. Smooth, reliable, consistent, and affordable enough that you can actually create without stress. So yeah, after testing all these platforms, I've realized something important. Flashy demos and AI hype are fun, but at the end of the day, creators need tools that actually work for real projects every single week. Vizard is the one that delivers that. It doesn't just show potential, it turns it into real, usable content. And honestly, once you try it, going back to anything else feels like stepping into a time machine with broken gears.